All right, Dion, ECSports. We're here with former Chicago Bull Ronald Dupree. How you doing tonight, bro?
Good, man. How about yourself?
Can't complain. What brings you here tonight for the game?
Working, man. Scouting the game. Yeah.
He's a scout now. So let Chicago know, like, what your experience was with the Bulls back in 2004. It's been a while, I know, but how was your experience in the NBA? You played for the Bulls, the Pistons. You played for all the Derrick Rose teams. I don't know if you knew that. Bulls, Pistons, Timberwolves. Crazy, right? Tell Chicago, yep, Detroit. How was your experience in the NBA?
It's a blessing, man. Like, getting to this point was something, I always aspired to get to. And, like, you go to each level, all the BS you go through, and then finally you get here. It's a blessing to have experienced that. But I think the most important thing is the relationships you develop and you keep. I think that's been the biggest thing: the experience and the relationships.
You went to college in Louisiana, and then you've been abroad, man. You've went to Jerusalem, I read. Obviously, the NBA, the D League, G League now. Tell like aspiring basketball player, young, 20s, straight out of college, what the grind is to get to fulfill your dream.
Got to have a plan, short term, long term. I've had a plan since I was middle school, probably even earlier, that I wanted to do this. So what did that entail? It started with academics, like getting my grades right, so I don't have any issues from a standardized test standpoint, so I can go to college, go to the college that I want to go to. Then it's that. Then I kind of engaged myself. I was an electrical engineer graduate, so I wanted to do that, and so that kind of filtered out some other schools, that I was thinking about going to. But just being focused, man. Like, again, like I was a big believer in like writing your vision, writing your goals down, short term, long term, and being specific, and praying. Having a relationship with God, man, and like He's led me to so many different places through this game, and still providing. So I would say the biggest advice I give anybody is just to write your plans down, write your goals down, that you see it every day, so it drives you every day to get to that grit and grind. You know what I mean? Because you see what your vision is every day. And so that's what I always advise even young people, to write your goals down, and it'll continuously remind you of where you want to go.
Amazing. That's great advice. Lastly, you played back in the 2000s. It was a little more physical, different athletes. Some are still playing, obviously. What's the difference with today's NBA from back when you were playing?
To your point, man, a lot less physical. We had a mid-range game. I mean, like, guys want to get to our spots. We wanted to shoot jumpers, and mimic our game after Jordan, you know what I mean? Like, especially for wings. Like, I was a wing all through college, high school. You watched MJ and then eventually Kobe. And so you're always trying to get to your spots in that mid-range area and pull up and be dynamic, be a dynamic finisher, play both sides of the ball, like, play every game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that load management scares me because I've been doing this since 2000. So seeing how it's transcended the game to where you might not see, and it seems like it's only for the stars, so to speak. Like, I always ask the Bulls, like, what do they think about it? I'm like, they don't exist with us. It's only certain players. And Derrick Rose just recently said if it was around when he was still, Derrick Rose, but he's still killing it right now, that it'll be a different story. So it's a crazy situation, as you said.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a tool. I'm not completely trashing it because I think it's legitimate science behind it. For certain players, it means more. Like, for us, I'm with the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, Giannis is the type of player you got to pull him away from the gym. Like, that dude wants to get better every single minute. And so for certain players, their bodies are built different too, so you got to take that in consideration. But just talking about 10, 15 years ago, just the mindset of how we play. I think the game now is a lot more European, a lot more pick and roll based, not a lot of isolation or taking your man one-on-one. I do a lot of scouting, especially in college, and you don't see a lot of players just take their guy one-on-one. And they don't
Never. Like, I read, I think it was just a couple of days ago, the Nets shot 53s and like 20-something twos. That's ridiculous, right?
It's definitely a change. Like, the guys that I was similar to playing wise just don't exist, man. Like, you got to be able to shoot a three, be a perimeter threat, or you got to be very extraordinary in one facet of the game. And just not a lot of wings out there like that. We just, as an organization, as a league, we just value three-point shooting. So it's just one of those things.
All right. That's Ronald Dupree, former Chicago Bull. Appreciate you, man. Enjoy the game. Thanks.